Welcome. We're back. All right, we got us. You could hear me, the other me, the recorded me, going off on the television there. But the reason why it's been a little bit of time, and I'm getting ready to. I'm gonna also start posting these on Facebook as well, so that more people will get a chance to benefit from the Bible study. And so now I do got one important tip for everyone. Before you ever sit down for a Bible study, and if you're going to record a Bible study, always remember this. Remove all the cats from your seats before you sit down. Yeah. Funny story. Be at the house here alone a lot of times, and I was in prayer one day, and I said, God, I just pray that you would give me some clean and sober and godly cats for me to deal with. And ever since then, my wife's always asking me to, can we have this cat? Can we have that cat? Hey, man. God actually did answer that prayer, too. I've been meeting a lot of new people. Amen. Shout out to Brother Elliot Murray. God bless. I'll be touching bases with you soon. I just joined a new church here because we're going to be here in Madera for a little while. And while we're here, I'm going to be serving with Second Missionary Baptist Church. And we have a sermon. Matter of fact, I'll post his sermon on here too. I'm going to have to split it up because on my account, I'm only able to share for about 15 minutes. So we're going to pick up. I got a little more information. I did some research, reading on the book of Enoch. And it had some interesting insight. Basically that the sons of God, they were called watchers. And according to the book of Enoch, they made a pact on Mount Hermon saying, that they wanted to go down and they wanted to join with the women. And it seems that the more they engaged in what they were doing, the more wickeder they got. And to add insult to injury, here it is, you had men that were already, fallen, already have a sinful nature. And then you got like Azazel teaches them magic arts. Another such angelic creature teaches them how to come out of the angelic arts. Another a demonic creature teaches the women to paint their eyes. I mean, it even gets so way out that it's got the demons even teaching people how to write. Like, okay. So it's basically making it as if all knowledge is like this sinful thing. And I can almost see where a lot of the fear of knowledge got mixed up. Number one, the Lord God loves us and he wants us to have wisdom. It's just he doesn't want us to have wisdom when we can't handle it. And he has a time and a place for everything. And there were certain things that man was not ready for. Another thing that was different about the angelic creatures is that the angels have an innate power built into them. They live on a higher level of law. and they have vast knowledge. Matter of fact, the word demon itself means intelligence, you know, where man was created as a channel. We were created to be channelers. I ain't talking about the bad channelers that are channeling demons. As a matter of fact, the demons take advantage of man's role as a channeler for God to move through man, because we were made to be kind of like the antennas of God on the earth. We were in the image of God, using the same word that God uses in talking about the images of the idols that people worship, and the mentality of the idolaters were that they were making representations of these deities that they were worshiping, and that deity's spirit would channel itself through that idol. Well, God created us to be like, but not for us to be worshipped, but that he would channel himself through us and rule the earth in and through us. And so when we fell from that, our ability to be in contact with both the spirit realm and the natural realm, the demons took advantage of that, and so they began to teach magic arts and began to teach them how to contact the spirit realm, and gave them all of these different ways of manipulating. And you know, the truth is they're not even manipulating. I mean, they're using these signs and these symbols to lift man's mind to say, oh yes, I have this diamond right here, and it's gonna channel the four corners of the wind, and I begin to draw power from the earth, and all that crazy stuff. You know, they lie to them, and they mix these truths into these lies, and they give people the ability to do supernatural things when it's nothing but the demons themselves doing these things. And so this demon Azazel taught these people magic arts, and basically they hand down a lot of forbidden knowledge. And so this is where God seen it all going down, you know, and said, man, I'm wiping this stuff out too. No, I'm not playing with that. So we left off talking about what sons of God meant, and these were angelic beings who, before they were demons, they were sons of God. Now, call to attention verse 3, Genesis 6:3. And the Lord said, my spirit will not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh. Now, contrary to people who are taking a lot out of this book of Enoch thing, it wasn't the demons who were the reason why man sinned so much. Man sinned so much because his flesh had been defiled from the fall. And God is making a alluding to that right here when he says that my spirit will not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. And what it's saying that though man is spirit, he is also flesh, and this same flesh has fallen. He's connected with the earth that had been cursed by me, is what God is saying. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Now, a lot of people try to say, well, okay, this is God shortening the lifespan. Well, if that were true, then Noah and Shem and Terah and Abram, who became Abraham, these guys wouldn't have lived so long. I mean, Jacob lived to be 147 years old. Abraham died at around 140, 150 years old. Moses, yeah, he died at 120. You know? And you still had Noah himself lived to be 500 years old. Shem lived to be about 500 or 600 years old. These guys lived a long time. They were still living hundreds and hundreds of years. So God wasn't talking about lifespan there. 120 years was the span of time that the world had to repent. They had 120 years to hear the message of Noah and turn from them ways. So now we're going to see here that we still have a situation with the giants going on. We get into a little bit more detail with these giants. And it says, and there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare them children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. Now, there were giants. The word giants here is not what people think. It's not huge people. It's the word Nephilim, which means the fallen ones. And it's saying that the fallen ones were in the earth in those days. The fallen ones were in the earth in those days. And then it says, after that, it's a semicolon, meaning that it's getting ready to explain further. And also after that. So these Nephilim were in the earth in those days and after the flood. When the sons of God came into the daughters of men. And also after that, the sons of God, okay, let me correct myself. And also after that, the sons of God came into the daughters of men. They bare children to them. The same came mighty men which were of old. So it's saying that in these days were the fallen ones in the earth. And it says, and also including with these fallen ones, after that the sons of God came into the daughters of men, that they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. So what it's saying there is that there were fallen ones in those days, meaning demons. And then there were also including with these demons, after these sons of God came into the daughters of men, they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. So, reading the context, it seems to me that the giants or the fallen ones were not the offspring of the sons of God and daughter of men. These were the sons of God. They were the fallen ones. They were the fallen angels. And this is what it's telling you. There were fallen ones in the earth in those days. And also after that the sons of God came into the daughters of men, they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. The mighty men which were of old, the men of renown, were the children of the fallen ones and the daughters of men. So what this is saying is it's basically backing up the whole notion that the sons of God were the fallen angels, that these were angelic beings, that it fell. And it says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. Now, earlier God was making an allusion to the flesh, and that his spirit wouldn't continue to strive with man. Why? It tells you in verse 5, because his imagination or his thoughts, the way that he thought was continuously wicked. And so the sin nature in man would bend his thoughts, and not only was the sin nature of man bending his own thoughts, but also you had them being taught by these demonic creatures how to manipulate things and teaching them these magic arts or whatnot. So you had, it was just wild. And we got these fallen ones that exist today. So they were just simply demons. They were demons. And so we're going to end it there. I'm just read one more verse. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and every creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So with that, may God richly bless you. and we'll check out Noah on the next installment. God bless.